If only I had spidey senses, so I can tell when something's wrong. Oh, and I'm in search to protect this heart from breaking into pieces. Where's my hammer? Where's the shield? All the strength to carry the weight of the world. Fly high into the sky. I'll catch you if you fall. I'll catch you if you fall. Fly high into the sky. I'll catch you if you fall. I'll catch you if you fall.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Snap Decisions, and I am honored to have another one of my favorite streamers on. It is DOEY KAT. DOEY, how are you? And welcome to the show.
I'm doing great. It's great to be here.
That is awesome. That is awesome. I'm sure they all know where they can find you, but in case some of the people that are listening don't know who you are, DOEY, tell everybody where they can find you and when you stream.
I stream every Friday at 8 a.m. Right now we're in Pacific Standard Time. I'm in Arizona.
Okay.
On Twitch, twitch.tv/DOEYKAT. And also I post a YouTube video every Monday, which is just a little highlight of my stream every Monday on YouTube at DOEY KAT.
I like those little, you do like little clips and stuff like that on YouTube, right?
I do some shorts too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. That's pretty
I
cool.
wish I
think
was
those are neat.
better at doing it. I get like a random, I'm going to do some shorts, and then I don't do it for a long time.
Yeah. I wish I was better at this whole thing. I'm like, you would think, I mean, I've worked in technology and retail one way or another for like 30 some years. You would think I'd be better with this, but no, I am horrible at this stuff. Yeah, so but no, they look great. I like the clips. I think it's almost like, for a creator, those clips and stuff can sometimes get, I think, more looks and stuff or likes than even the longer videos do, because it seems like people just like shorter stuff now. At least, I don't know. That's what it comes off.
That is true. And also when you open YouTube on your phone, it automatically takes you to shorts, and it's real
true.
easy to get stuck in a loop of just scrolling the shorts when you're trying to do something on YouTube.
Yeah.
I know that happens to me.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's for sure. And I think, you know what, I also think it comes from, like, obviously we live in a big generation of TikTok. I don't use it. My daughters both love it. But I know that, and they're the same thing. You go on there, you're watching like a 30-second video or something like that. So it's almost like the mindset's changed from when it was years ago, when it was primarily only YouTube, and, you know, and the videos were all longer. And now it's like, yep, I just want to watch something, I want to go. And so, yeah, so I'll have to ask you about that a little bit later on, of course, as a streamer, what makes but yeah, we're going to talk about some Marvel Snap, of course. But before we do, I'd like to get to know some stuff about you. So when did you start streaming, and what kind of got you into streaming?
Wow. I started streaming, I want to say around 2019.
Okay.
I got into Fortnite with somebody that I used to work with, and he had friends across the country that he played with. So I bought myself an Xbox and played Fortnite with them for a while, and they were like, "Man, you're really funny. You should stream." And so my first stream was just no camera, streaming Fortnite from my Xbox.
Okay. Nice. Nice. Yeah. Hey, you got to start somewhere, right?
Yep.
That's awesome. So, yeah, you know, I started during COVID, and I did I met a friend of mine who does the podcast, my other podcast with me online. And we ended up doing like a wrestling show, like a show about pro wrestling.
Okay.
So we were both fans and we started doing that. But I was like, before I got started doing any of this, my daughter messages me and she's like, Dad, you should podcast. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing with any of that. I can't podcast. She's like, Dad, my God, it's an app. She said, you could certainly do it. It's super easy. I'm like, all right. So I kind of tried it and I'm like, I kind of dig it. Cause I went to school for journalism and communications. I never really I lived it for a little bit. I wrote for newspapers. I was a DJ in school and stuff like that, but I never got a chance to live it. Life happens. And then you just got to you got to find yourself a real job and get out there and earn the money and that kind of thing. But I always enjoyed it. And now I'm doing this and I'm just having a blast. I just love talking to people, I think is really what it is. So that's cool. So how long, so you started with Fortnite. What other games did you end up going to, or was it Fortnite that led you right to Snap, or were there things in
no, it was a long, very long journey. Oh yeah. I eventually started with doing a lot of COD multiplayer, Call of Duty Modern Warfare when that one came out, I think 2020.
Okay.
And that was during COVID. So it was all I did. And then I wanted to do variety streaming, and then I kind of burned out, and I just stopped streaming for 2 years, and I tried to get my life together a bit. And when Marvel Snap released, my boyfriend he downloaded on the first day, not in the beta, just the global release.
Right.
And he's like, "You should try this game," and I'll do it tomorrow. So I did it the next day, and the rest is history. I fell in love with the game. I think I've played every single day since then, at least for like a couple of games.
Yeah, that's so did you start now? Were you in the beta? Did you start right at the very beginning? No.
I didn't know it existed.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
I had no idea.
Was he playing since the beginning?
No, he just saw the global release.
Okay.
On mobile. Right. So
okay.
I didn't know it was on Steam for quite a while.
Yep.
I thought it was just a mobile game.
Yeah. Now, were you a Marvel fan prior, or did you?
I never got into comics as a kid, but I am a fan of the MCU stuff. Okay. I've seen just about every single movie.
Nice, nice. Well, I ask everybody, what's your favorite one?
Well, Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that's you. That's one of the big ones. Yeah.
And Thor Ragnarok was just so funny.
It was. Yeah.
I thought that one was hilarious.
Yeah.
Ragnarok is the one I'm thinking of, right? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. That's the one with Thor and Hulk. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That one was so good.
Yeah.
And Jeff Goldblum, it was so great.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that one was that was really good. And the first two Thors weren't great.
They were they were entertaining.
They were The first one was okay. The second one is that's down there for me. Like I knew Malekith from the comics. And when I saw the Malekith on there, I'm like, yeah, that's not Malekith that I know. And it was like, and then the third one came along, and it was done really well. The cast of characters they had in that, and
it was great. Yeah. I mean, it's really hard to choose a favorite. I just remember Winter Soldier just being so badass. I think I saw that one before I saw the first Captain America.
Yep. Yeah. Winter Soldier, I saw them right from the very start because I came off watching like all the Fox stuff and everything when that was out. Like but the first Captain America was okay. I was never a war film guy, so I liked it. I knew the story and I kind of knew where it was going. I love the end. I like the whole part with Red Skull and everything at the end and the action sequences and stuff like that. But the first set of the films before Avengers. Now Avengers blew my mind because I'm living this now as a comic book fan since I've been reading comics since I was probably 6 back in the 70s. That goes like shows you how long, but it's like I never thought I'd see any of this. I never thought I'd see a team up movie with superheroes on a big screen, and I'm like, I eat this stuff up. Whatever I can get, I'm there for it. I'll watch them all. I'm a big DC guy too. I grew up with more, I think I may have grown up with more DC comics than Marvel. I read a lot of Spider-Man. And I read some weird comics growing up. I read Doctor Strange, which was very weird in the 70s. It's a very psychedelic comic book.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, very, very strange read. And I was also big. Well, I was a Man-Thing fan. I loved Man Thing.
Okay.
And that was it's a horror book, essentially. They were horror books. Marvel had they had that, Werewolf by Night, Frankenstein's Monster, they had a mummy book, they had all these. But the story's funny. My grandparents would buy me comics, and I think it was for Christmas one holiday or something like that. They bought me. They used to make comic books with records, so 45 records, the smaller ones, and it was almost like an audiobook that we have today.
Mhm.
So they would read along and they narrate the comic book. So they bought me this Man Thing one, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, I was probably 7, and I'm looking at this, and the book literally has on the cover, Man Thing's on the cover, and it is a clown. So the clown is kind of creepy the way it was. We're a little top hat, stuff like that, creepy looking clown. And then inside the story, inside the book, the clown ends up killing himself. He walks into the swamp, shoots himself in the head, and kills himself. And that's where this story progresses from.
Oh, wow.
To this day, I'm like, Mom, I asked her, like, why would you buy me a book like this?
That's so
when
dark.
I was like 6, 7 years old. Well, I'm a horror fan now, needless to say, and I'm guessing that may have had a lot to do with it.
Absolutely.
But I was like, that's why I was like, when I saw the Werewolf by Night special and Man Thing was in that, I'm like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever.
I'm gonna have to watch that again because when I watched it, I didn't. I think it did it come out before Marvel Snap, right? So I really didn't know a lot of these characters.
Yep.
And I should watch it again, so I can see.
Yeah,
who
you've got Elsa Bloodstone's in that. Obviously, Man Thing's in it. The Werewolf by Night's in it. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that we have in the game. Probably not.
I know I could get so much more meaning from it now if I watched it again. I should do that.
It's really good. And if you did you watch when you watched it? Did you watch the black and white? You must have watched the black and white version.
Oh yeah.
They colorized it.
Oh.
So now they have a version that's in color. So I had to go back and watch that.
Oh yeah, okay.
But I always loved the character, and he was pretty much kind of almost a ripoff of Swamp Thing from DC. They're very similar, but Swamp Thing always talked and everything like that. A little more intelligent, I guess. But I don't know why. I don't know what drew me. Probably that record is probably what drew me to him. But yeah, I'm loving whatever I can get. Like give me anything, and I'm never going to complain. Some of the movies I like less than the others, but it's like I don't care. If I have this stuff, did you see Captain America? Did you see the new one?
The new one, yes. We actually took the kids to see it.
Okay,
they enjoyed it too.
Nice. What did you think?
I thought it was entertaining.
It was.
I don't know. I liked it.
Yeah.
I didn't really have anything bad to say about it for
sure.
sure.
Yeah, I agree. It was.
I wanted to see more Bucky. But I know we're gonna get him in the Thunderbolts.
He is in the Thunderbolts. Yeah, I'd almost bet he's going to be in Doomsday and the Secret War. I would think as well too.
Hey, those are the big ones I'm really looking forward to.
Me too. Yeah, me too. I'm pretty sure they're going to do the 2015 comic storyline with what they're doing, and if they are, it's very, very good. Like the Secret War in the 80s was made to sell toys. And that's pretty much what it was. They gathered a whole bunch of heroes up, put them on a planet, let them fight each other. And that's essentially what it was. The 2015 one was all these different things meshing together, but Doom was God Emperor Doom, which we have in Snap. It's the white Doom, the one that's wearing the white. And then he has Doctor Strange as his right hand. He's married to Sue Storm. And just like all of this weird stuff. And the characters end up going there after something big happens. I have to go back and read it again. But they all end up being on this world, and none of them remembers where they were. So wherever they are now, they don't remember who they were prior. And then there's like this big revolution that starts against Doom. So if they're doing that, which I kind of think that's kind of what they're going to adapt, it's going to be awesome. And I just read an interview with the Russo brothers saying that it's a new beginning. They're basically going to start over. I think they're going to reboot the universe. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And well, I'm all for it. I'm excited to see.
Yeah, me too. And they'll bring in the X-Men and all that kind of stuff too, I'm sure, after that as well. So.
I'm all for it. I'm not a hater, and I can't compare it to the comics because I never really read the comics.
Yeah. Hey.
But I do have to thank the people that make YouTube videos that, like, go through comics because I've
Yes.
watched a good bit of those. I've
Yep.
actually watched a Daredevil one recently because I wanted to know about Muse, and
Yep.
I think I found out more than I needed to find out
Yep.
because holy cow.
Yep.
But yeah.
Muse is psychotic, like
Yeah.
literally psychotic. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, I love Daredevil. I think it's the first one on Netflix was amazing, and I think
Mhm.
this is really good too. They're
One
adapting them.
episode a week is killing me, though.
I know. Well, supposedly this week's supposed to be two again.
Oh,
I
okay.
think this week coming up is supposed to be two again, and then I think they're going to do two the rest of the way out, from what I heard.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. So and the only thing I I didn't. It's not really any sort of spoiler or anything like that. I would never do that. It's they did say though that the because I guess some of the movie critics that do stuff on YouTube got to watch the whole thing up front. So
Oh.
they sent them the whole thing and they reviewed it non-spoiler, but then the only thing they said at the end was that you are not going to want to end because you're left wanting more because you don't get a resolution. And now the next one isn't out until 2026. So
Oh, yeah, I
yeah.
heard something similar. I heard something similar, yet far more specific
Yep.
about
Okay.
that. So
Okay.
I get it, and oh, wow, that's a long time to wait.
Yeah. Yeah. You won't get it until next it's probably around this time next year. I think they
I
said
run into
spring, summer.
spoilers. I run into
I do
spoilers
too.
head first. I don't care because I usually either won't remember it or
Yep.
it doesn't matter.
My friends all used to. I'm better than I used to be. But I've gone looking for things. You know what it is? When I was like it's early teens. Well, no, this was before that because like whenever a movie would come out, like I was a big Star Wars nerd. So whenever a movie would come out, but about 2 months before they put the novel out for the movie. So the books would come out first. They don't do that anymore. Now they come out months after. But the book for Star Wars, I remember getting, and I remember reading it. So I basically knew the entire story. But the problem, there's a couple of things with it. You always get more in the book than you do in the film. So I'm
Mhm.
waiting for certain things in the film to happen that never happened because they got cut. They don't put them all in the movie. They can't. And then so then I remember there's a time there was a guy that I was working with who I mean I'm sure you've got coworkers like this sometimes too. Okay guy, like I know he's he's probably a good person at heart, but he could get on very lazy and just kind of got on my nerves a little bit sometimes as kind of being a manager. He never wanted to do a lot of stuff and it was like so I just remember I was a little on edge with him the one day and I came in and I had looked on Reddit and I got spoiled for the entire for Force Awakens. Whoever these guys were literally leaked the entire script. I don't know where they got it from, how it ended up there, but I read the entire thing. And I went into work the next day. He got on my nerves and I'm like, by the way, Han Solo dies in this movie. And he's looking at me and oh my God, did he get mad? And then he went to see the film and he's like, I hate you right now. Like, I really hate you right now. And I'm like, so yes, I've been known to spoil things for myself. I run into them too. I'll either watch something on YouTube where someone says stuff or I'll but I've done that before too.
I work that kind of job. He probably deserved it.
Yeah. Yeah. He definitely did. Yes. He, yeah.
Far better than anything else you could have done to him at work, you know?
Yes. Yes. I figured, all right, fine. I'm going to spoil Star Wars for you. And now you will know. But yeah, but it's many times I would know like how it was going to be because I'd read the novels first. But then a lot of times you're kind of actually disappointed a little bit because the novels have some cool stuff in it. Like I remember, the prequels for Star Wars, not the first Attack of the Clones, had a very cool scene in the book that I wish they would have left in the film because it would have kind of gone into a little more detail about how Anakin started to turn bad. And there was a scene with him and the Sand People and stuff like that, and how when he was younger, the Sand People helped him. Basically, they helped him to hide from something, so it would kind of explain the whole thing a little better. And it was just they put it in there. And then when I didn't see it, I'm like, oh, that kind of sucks. They cut it, but yeah, I've done my share of spoiling things. That's for sure.
I wonder
So
why they cut it. They didn't want them to seem good?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I think
No.
sometimes things just get left on the scrap floor because they just can't fit it all into the movie. And Attack of the Clones is kind of long to begin with,
Mhm.
and
Oh,
they probably
yeah.
just it was probably a little too long in parts. But it didn't it probably just would have ran over, and a lot of the stuff just went out. Like the same thing with the original Star Wars. His friends that he met when he was young, that he ended up meeting when they were fighting the Death Star at the end. The guy's name was Biggs. He had a mustache and black hair, and they put it in during the remake, the one that Lucas did over. He was back in it, but at the very beginning, they were with him at the beginning of the film, so you met them very early on. But then they scrapped
Oh,
all that; they didn't have them in it.
huh.
So yeah, so it was interesting to do, and like I said, now they don't do it until later. So it's funny because now I kind of lost interest in reading the books. I'm like,
Yeah.
it was fun to do it beforehand, but now it's like, yeah, I don't care
It's
anymore.
reading books takes so long when you have other stuff you need to be doing
I
too.
know. I used to
And there's
love to
Marvel
read.
Snap too.
Yeah. Oh
That was
God.
Marvel Snap probably did take away a lot of my reading in bedtime, to be
Yes.
honest, because that's what I do
Yeah.
in bed before I sleep now
Do
instead
you?
of read
Yeah.
or
Yep.
thanks,
Yeah.
Marvel Snap.
That's like right. Yeah. I hear you. It's definitely something for me that, well, number one, I haven't touched my poor PlayStation in probably almost 6 or 7 months. So that never happens anymore. And it's probably because of yeah, like you said, it's from playing this because a little bit
Yep.
of time. And I mean, you work retail, we have retail hours and stuff like that. So it's like you don't have, you know, 4 or 5, 6, 7 hours to just sit and play like some other people do.
Oh,
And
no.
so yeah, that would make a lot of sense that you play it at that time. So
I haven't touched my Switch. I haven't finished Tears of the Kingdom yet. I
yep.
picked it up once when I was sick over the last few weeks, but that's it. I just did, like, some random side quests because I was too sick to play anything else.
I was a big RPG fan, and I've always been a big fan of Final Fantasy.
Ooh.
And I was playing the remake, the second part of the remake. And I started in, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Like, the graphics like astound me now. It looks so amazing. And I got into the big city. And in the big city, you end up playing a card game. You know, Final Fantasy's always had card games associated with them. So
Yes.
I got to where you had to go on missions and play people in this card game. And that's where I stopped, and I haven't touched it since. I was like,
Yes.
I'm playing Snap outside of this, and now they want me to play a card game too. And I'm like, there is no way this is going to happen.
I think there was
So
a game like that in the Final Fantasy MMO. What
yeah,
is it,
what was
14?
there? Okay,
Or
yeah,
some kind of
yeah.
little card game like that, and I got so obsessed with it.
Did you?
And collecting the cards and going to find the missions to get more cards and stuff like that.
I
Yeah.
found it hard to play Final Fantasy 14. It was so. I see. I came from World of Warcraft.
Mhm.
I was EverQuest first, and then I played WoW for a while, and then I tried to play 14 because I love I love the series, but I'm inside of a city in that, and I'm lost. I'm like, I don't know where to go. Like you can't run it, and Warcraft was kind of easy in that respect because it directed you to everything. Like you knew where your next mission
Mhm.
was, you knew where to go get it, and I'm standing there. I'm like, yeah, no, I can't do this. Like I was lost in that game,
I
but
haven't played Warcraft in a while, but I do miss it. But I accidentally deleted my Final Fantasy account, so I would have to start over if I went
yeah,
back to it.
that would suck.
It was a
Yeah.
big oopsie. It was so hard to navigate their website, and I misclicked something. My
Oh,
account went
okay.
bye-bye.
Now, okay, so you played WoW. Were you in WoW?
Oh, I haven't played I don't think we've played since, uh, Burning Crusade Classic?
Okay. Yep.
And I started in Shadowlands, so I'm a very new WoW player.
Oh, wow.
Uh,
Okay. All
and
right.
yeah, I'm such a noob. My favorite, uh, character that I play is Demon Hunter Tank.
Demon Hunters are cool. Okay, you're a tank. Yep, that's
I
what I
love the
was.
double jump. It's so much fun. The double jump
Yes.
glide. Oh, it's so nice
Yep.
to just have that all the time.
Now, were you raiding a lot? Like, were you in a guild big enough that
Oh.
allowed you to raid big raids, or were
Oh,
you
no.
just like,
No,
would
I
you just do the
wasn't.
dailies and stuff like
Oh, I'm
that?
super
Okay.
casual.
Okay.
I was a mount hunter and just completing storylines and stuff. Like I went through Legion on my own and stuff like that.
Nice. I was a night elf. Yeah, night elf tank. and Night Elf Warrior tank. And I ended up being, well, we were just, we had a bunch of friends primarily that were just playing, and we started a guild, but I don't think we ever had more than like 17 people in the guild. And then we ended up doing like a 5-person raid, and we got to meet these other people. And then they were like, you should join our guild. So we did. And then that's what led us to doing like the bigger raids.
Okay.
But I was having fun with it, but then they were like, okay, you're a main tank, so we're going to need you to be on Tuesday, on Thursday, on Friday at 7:00 p.m. and we are on until midnight. And I did that for a week. And then the next week I'm like, I have a job. I can't do this. And I cannot be on every night for 5 hours a night.
No, they're serious. They're
I think
so serious about
very
it.
much so. Very much so. And the other thing too is like you're going in those things and you're doing it over and over and over. And it's the same thing. You're wiping, you're going back in, you're going back. And it's pretty much just to equip everybody. So, and I was usually the first one who got equipped with stuff. So I was okay. I'm okay with that. I'm getting all this cool stuff. But then when you're done and they equip the tank, then you got to go through and equip all the other 19 people that are in that raid. And it's like, oh God.
That just doesn't sound fun to me. That's like playing Infinity Conquest. It's such a grueling experience.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was. It got unfun very quickly. And I was like, yep. And that kind of started the end of my WoW stuff. I still would play whenever new expansion would come out. The most recent one was Dragonflight. I think that came out last summer.
I've heard it was pretty cool. I'd play it.
It was cool until I got my mount, which I thought was going to be the coolest part in it because you could fly.
Right.
Well, it sucked flying. I don't know what they did with the mechanics of that. But I literally got my dragon. I went off this thing. I went around, did some missions down at the bottom of this big cavern. And then you had to fly back up to the pedestal where you were to turn the missions in. I could never figure out how to get that damn dragon back up there. I'm here going in circles like this. And you have to go off an edge, go in a circle, go in a circle, go in a circle, and spiral until you got back up. There was no just aiming up and go. You had to go in a big oh my God, it was horrible. And I'm like, this is terrible. And you couldn't get to any. So I was like, that pretty much was that. I think that pretty much is it. I was like, I'm done.
Maybe I don't want to play that one then.
The flight was awful.
I have flying anyway, right? You can fly anyway.
Yeah, you can. Like if you have like old flying mounts and stuff like that, you still could. But with these new ones, and because they let you do these special missions with them, you could do races with them and stuff like that, and do all this other kind of stuff. But since they did that, and in that one particular area where you get the mount, you have to use that mount for everything. So there was nothing I could do. And I'm like, I can't learn how to do this. And I'm like, so I'm just sitting there and I'm like, yeah, okay. I went and did all the quests around me. And then that was it. I was done. I couldn't do anymore. And I'm like, well, that's it. I just gave it up. And I'm like, yeah, I'm done. So I went and played Classic. Yeah. I went and played Classic. I went back and played Classic a little bit. So, but yeah, it was a long journey. So what other video games have caught your interest along the way? Now you said Fortnite, obviously, that you played. You said that. Now, did you play any of the other ones on? You said Call of Duty too. Oh, see now I
played Modern Warfare. But I think I played the one that came after that, Cold War.
Okay.
But then I kind of got off of Call of Duty. I started playing like Paladins.
Okay.
Then I finally got into Overwatch. I think it was nearing the end of Overwatch 1. And a lot of story games. And the big one right now is Marvel Rivals, of course. Like I'm pretty addicted to Marvel Rivals.
I was just going to ask you, yeah, because if you're in, I mean, I heard Overwatch is a lot like it. Like it's
very the teamwork aspect of it is very similar. So if you've got good like game sense in something like that, you do pretty well. It's just a little bit of adaptation.
Okay.
But it is a bit different.
What characters are you playing?
I mostly play Cloak and Dagger, but I'm trying to play more Luna Snow and Invisible Woman. And
Oh, okay.
also Groot. I really want to learn Groot, so I've been practicing Groot a lot.
Nice. Nice. I was thinking about I started it, I downloaded it on my PlayStation and I'm like, I'm gonna try it because a lot of the people that I talked to were playing and I'm like, I'm gonna give it a shot. So I went through. The only problem with me is, and I don't know, I think that it's third person, right? It's not
Mhm.
first person.
Third person.
I sometimes will get motion sick. Like if I play first person, I can't play at all.
Yep.
The last one I tried was the newest. I think it was Resident Evil Village because I really wanted to give it a shot. I heard it was really good. So I'm playing for 10 minutes and I started to get nauseous and I'm like, nope, I can't do it. So I was trying Rivals just to see because I thought, now I know it's not first person, but I'm like, it's still. I'm wondering if the motion was going to get me. But I played as Punisher and it was okay. Like nothing bothered me, and I must have played it for about a half hour. And so I think I'm okay. I wanted to wait for the whole Fantastic Four to get in because I'm a big Fantastic Four fan. So I might try it again and come
Yeah,
in as fan.
I have friends that's the same thing. They can't play first person shooters because
Yeah,
it
I
makes them
cannot.
very
Yep.
motion sick. But
Yep.
Rivals, I assume playing something like Spider-Man can't be too great if you get motion sick.
Yeah, because he's like jumping all over the
You're
place, I
all
guess,
over
right?
the place.
Yeah, yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nope.
I don't play characters like that. I try
Yeah.
to keep it simple. I'm over 40. I have slow reflexes and bad aim.
Yes, me too. Yeah, yeah. Wait till you hit your mid 50s.
Oh, I can't wait.
You start losing it even more. It's like, yeah, I'm like, give me something easy. I don't want, yeah. And I was the people who are telling me, I've a lot of people that play at work, and I'm like, just give me an easy character and I'll be a tank because that's what I'm used to doing in Warcraft. That's what I did. So I'm like,
Okay.
just give me a. So they're talking to me. So tell me what are easy characters to tank would be.
I think like a pretty simple character to try to learn right off the bat would be Doctor Strange. You've got your
Okay.
shield and your primary fire, and you've got a melee that's kind of like a whip,
Yep.
and you've got a teleporter that you can use once every like 3 minutes or so.
To
It's
teleport like people back to you and stuff like.
you can
Oh, okay.
teleport people to the objective or
Nice.
teleport your enemies into off a cliff. I've seen that.
Oh, that's
We've
fun.
also we've seen a really good Doctor Strange, really good, really annoying. They portaled both of our spawn doors so that we couldn't leave spawn until the portals went away. That was a good time.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
We need to put a third spawn door on that map.
There you go. Well, that's cool. I'll have to give it another shot. I was reading the
Fun.
comics. They made a comic series for it. So I was
There's a
going through.
lot of there's I haven't gone through and read, but there's lore on every character. There's
Yeah.
like battle pass lore. There's so much to read.
Yeah.
I haven't had time to read it, but I always want to read it.
The Marvel Unlimited app has them, and I don't know whether they're in. I don't have a comic book shop near me anymore. A friend of mine used to own one growing up, and that's how I got into comics so much. Because like I just go and he'd have a bin of comics. He's like, "Here, you need to read this and this and this," and I'm like, "Okay," um, but I get them now on the app, and I saw the Rivals one come out, and I've been reading it since it started, and it's interesting. Like I led the story and stuff behind it. I
Yeah,
like it, and
there's actually a story going on. It's
mhm,
not just like a get in there and shoot each other.
yep.
But I don't know
Yep.
if a lot of people know that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's. I've told them about it on my pod. I mentioned it in my comics corner thing that I do, and told them to go read the Rivals comic when it came out. Because, well, and the other thing too, I didn't know who Galacta was, and I'm a huge Galactus fan, but I didn't know who
Mhm.
she was. So I went and found her books on there, and I read it. She's only been in 4 comics, and I
Okay.
read the little mini series that she was in. Very, very interesting book. Complete. She's Galactus's daughter.
Mhm. That's all I
And
know about her.
yeah, well, it's interesting if you ever want to read it. It's a very easy and quick read, but it's very like, first of all, she's got insatiable hunger. So she's hanging out on Earth basically with these friends of hers and stuff that she knows, very much like a teenager would. And she gets this thing where she just all of a sudden is hungry all the time. You know, like Galactus, her father eats planets. But then you find out at the end that she's literally having a baby. And that was what
Oh,
caused it. And it was like, oh, I was like, blew my mind. I'm like, okay, this got really
wow.
weird really quickly. I was like, but but they're supposed to be bringing her back. I heard that they're supposed to do. It was just kind of a one shot 4 books with her, and now they're supposed to bring her back at some point. But she was never in. The MCU has their own little universe and stuff like that, and comics has, they call it the 616. So it's basically Earth where all the Marvel stuff's happening. She was never in that. She was in her own area of the thing and was never in that universe. But yeah, I learned a good deal about her. And there's actually a really cool scene where she's talking to her dad. She's talking to Galactus, and you almost kind of feel like, you feel sorry for, now here's a guy who's going around eating people's worlds and just killing everyone on them. And it's like, you almost kind of feel bad for her and everything when she's talking to the father and stuff. Like, it's like a father-daughter conversation. And I'm like, oh, wow, it like hit me a lot harder than I thought a book like that would. So, but yeah, I was like, okay. But yeah, it was enjoyable to read. And not to mention, I think reading the comics gave me a free Jeff. I got a Jeff skin for free that I could use in the game.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, well, that's cool. Do you stream Rivals?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
nice.
I have. Usually I will switch to Rivals if we play Snap for a few hours and we start just having bad games, bad location.
Yeah.
When it starts tilting, tilting me a little bit, I'm like, let's just take a break. We'll do something else. And I've downloaded some story games and some random games to play if I ever get the urge. But right now it's just Rival. I want to go play Rivals. I was in Diamond for one brief moment, and I've D-ranked back to Platinum. I want to get back to Diamond.
You want to get back there? Nice. Yeah. That's all. I'll have to check out your streams and just watch people play and maybe just get some ideas how it looks to play and stuff like that.
There's a lot of good content on Rivals out there.
Yeah. I've seen
a lot of bad content on Rivals.
I'd imagine
there's a lot of trolling. It's
Yeah, I know a lot of, like, I know there are creators out there that kind of turn to it. I know, who was I watching play? Binks was playing it, I think, for a little bit. He may still, I'm not sure. I'm just trying to think of the people I watch for the most part. I watch Regis a lot. I watch Binks a lot.
I love Regis. I love both of them. I love both of them.
Regis was on my show.
I know he's been on. I haven't watched his yet. I watched Nina's recently.
It was oh my god, Nina, I love Nina too. Nina makes me laugh. I can watch. There's some people I can just watch, and just the stuff that they do cracks me up.
Nina has the best scream.
She does.
Best scream ever.
Agreed. Yep. Agreed. I like watching her because she finds different ways to play Galactus, and that's awesome. Yeah, I love that.
Super content, like super great content.
Yes,
just
and
great
Binks,
content.
Binks, when I hear his song, cracks me up. When I hear his theme song play, I'm like, I'm just chuckling every time I hear the theme song. It's
wonderful.
When Regis came on, we were just chatting about just stuff like we are, and he's like, I think I mentioned something with DC, and he's like, "Are we allowed to talk about DC on a podcast?" I'm like, "You can talk about whatever you want, dude." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, why not?" And he's like, "Oh, okay. I'm used to talking about Marvel all the time." And we literally carried on a conversation about DC stuff for almost a half an hour. But yeah,
I have to give DC credit for making me a fan of superhero movies with Batman. I mean, all the Batman movies that came out as I was growing up with Michael Keaton and
oh my gosh,
even Val Kilmer,
yes,
and even the other guy, George Clooney. I watched all of those Batman movies.
Yes, the Michael Keaton one was
for better or worse,
so good.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. That's my favorite line.
Yes,
love it.
Yep. When he picks up the fire poker and it's I loved it. I thought it was. I remember waiting in a line to see that in the theater. There's literally, and we live in a small town, and there was a line outside the theater, and it was funny because Jack Palance, the guy who played he was the gangster leader in that. So he was the Joker's boss, Jack Nicholson's boss. He dies very early on in the film. The Joker kills him. Well, his family and him actually live in a valley 10 minutes from my house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And we would see him a lot. Like when I was 14, I worked in a restaurant with my mom. He would come in that restaurant every weekend. Now, he was never known as being the nicest guy. Like I remember there was a time when a young kid went up to him and asked him for his autograph, and he asked the kid not to bother him and stuff like that because he was eating. Now I get it. I get it. It's not, but
I get it.
I get it. They want privacy, and I understand that. But it's like it's a little kid, and it's not like, you know what I mean? Like, you're an older dude. It's funny he would even know that. And I'm thinking to myself, he's probably asking for his parents, because I don't even know that this kid this age would know this guy.
Right.
And it's like, so when we went to the theater to see it, my friend and I walked in, and normally we try to get, when you go to the movie theater, you try to get that nice middle row and try to sit in the, the good parts of it. So we go down, and we see there's one of the sections that we want to sit in, and was roped off. Like, now who the hell would rope off in this dinky little theater, rope off a section? His family came to see the film. So they roped the section off for his family. And so I remember my buddy was mad. Like, he was pissed. Like, and then we were sitting there, and Jack Palance's character dies, and the Joker shoots him. My buddy gets up and is like, yes, he's dead. Yes. And he starts cheering.
And he knew. And he knew that.
Yes.
That's
Yep.
savage.
Yep.
I love it. I appreciate it.
Yes. He was but oh my God, I love that film. Everybody thought Michael Keaton was going to be so bad, because Michael Keaton was always known for comedy. Like, he was Mr. Mom, and he was like, all his stuff that he did was comedy back then. And oh my God, I thought he killed it. I thought it was so good. Did you see the first Superman films, the ones with Chris Reeve?
No, if I have, it's been too long and I do not remember.
Yeah, you should check them out. They're so good. Like, especially the first one. Oh my God. That movie came out when I was 9, I'd say. My dad took me to see it, and it was like, the tagline for the movie was, you'll believe a man can fly. That was what they used for it. That little video, or that music clip that I play prior to my show, my friend Scott, who's a musician that did that, they did a video for it. And when he plays that part about flying high into the sky, I'll catch you when you fall, that has the scene where Superman's flying with Lois from that film in his video. And that film, like, just blew my mind. I'd never seen anything like it. So yeah, I grew up on DC stuff as much as I did Marvel. So now have you seen the recent stuff too? Like, have you seen the Snyder stuff? Like, all
not so much. No.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
They're okay.
Yeah. I mean, I know I've seen Aquaman, I think.
Okay. Yeah. With Jason Momoa, the first one.
I don't think I've seen the newest Wonder Woman, but I heard I'm not missing anything.
You're not. The first one was the best one.
Unfortunately. Yeah. And I don't think I've seen the Justice League. I don't think I've seen any cuts of that movie at all.
Not missing anything there either. Yeah, they were just they were disappointments, unfortunately. I mean,
when you live through the MCU building up to Avengers and Infinity War, it's really hard to top that. It does feel like they tried to rush their way to an Infinity War situation.
They did
a bit.
They did. And what's funny is they got Joss Whedon to direct the Justice League film. So you're thinking, okay, well, he did Avengers 1 and 2. So you're thinking, this should be pretty good. No, it wasn't. Zack Snyder's a funny director. He likes to, like, load too much stuff, I think, into his movies. He clumps things in, like with Superman Batman. When I saw that was coming out, I'm like, oh my God, I wanted to see this forever, because that was a big thing in the comics. But he lumps in that was the Dark Knight Returns, essentially, which is a great book. It's Batman when he's in his, like, 60s, and he comes back to being Batman again because of stuff that's going on in the world. And then Superman is basically working for the government, so it's a very different story, but it's so good. So he had that in there, and then he tried to lump it in with the Death of Superman story and put it in all in one thing, and it just doesn't work. Like, you can't put all that crap into one movie and think that it's going to work that way.
Yeah, so not even knowing anything about the comics, it felt like it was trying to do too much.
It was,
from a noob outside perspective.
Yes, no, you're 100% right. Yeah, he. I don't know if you ever saw it. Did you ever see Watchmen?
Oh yeah, I have actually read the graphic novel.
Okay, and that's fantastic. Yeah,
it's the only one I've ever read.
And Snyder did that, so I think he thought, now I have to do these epic 3-hour movies whenever I do a superhero film, because Watchmen was, but Watchmen was that long of a book. You read it, right?
It was,
So
yeah. Oh yeah.
what now, tell me, and I'm just asking because I'm trying to see if you feel the same way. What did you think of the different endings?
I mean, I wanted to see the alien,
Yes,
the
me
makeshift
too.
alien, but
Yeah,
maybe they couldn't do that. Maybe it wasn't in the budget. I don't know.
that could
Maybe
have
they had
been.
to find a cheaper way to do it. But I thought that
Yeah,
would have been really cool.
yeah, me
'Cause
too.
that was
I
those images in that book were
mhm.
so crazy.
Yep. Yes, they were. And it's funny because I never read that until I saw the movie was coming out, and I'm like, oh, I've got to read this book. And but I never read it. And oh my gosh, it's I couldn't put it down.
The
I
HBO show is actually really good too. It's very different, but
I
I liked
need
it a lot.
I need to check that out. I started watching it. I think I watched maybe the first 3 or 4 episodes and I liked it. So I have to finish that.
It
Um
was good. They changed. I mean, it was very different. It was a good story though.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to finish that. And then now they have the animated one on there
I
too, I
haven't
think
seen
is on
that one
HBO.
yet, but I wanna see it for
That's
sure.
supposed to be closer to the book than the movie was, apparently. So yeah, I have to check that out too. I love the characters in that. Of course, I love Rorschach's my favorite one. Now, I mean, it's that with the mask and all that kind of stuff. But it was very different. And Jeffrey Dean Morgan was in that too, who I love.
Mhm.
I like him more now that he was in Walking Dead. He was Negan in Walking Dead, but
Oh,
I like
yes.
the actor. So yeah, yep. All right. Well, I guess we should maybe talk some Snap here. um, I could go on and on about comics and all that kind of stuff,
Oh,
and
yeah.
movies and all that. And but yeah, so um, when when you first started Snap, what was like one of the things that you liked most about the game? What's something that got you into it and kind of kept you playing or got you really into the game?
Well, I didn't have any experience with card games. I didn't ever play Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering. It
Okay.
was just a completely new experience for me,
Okay.
and I loved the way that your first set of cards just went together so beautifully. Your White Tiger, Odin, your Ironheart, like, it was so cool. I thought it was so cool,
Yeah.
and the location, like, I just thought it was a really fun and neat idea, and I
Mhm.
had no idea that I was gonna be streaming it or that I would stick with it this long. I thought it was a cool mobile game, and it was gonna
Yep.
take up a lot of my time.
Yep. Yeah, it's it certainly has for a game that they made out to be like, oh, it's this quick game that's going to go so fast, and you never, yeah. I I came to it. Well, I was a Magic player for a long time. We used to play in big tournaments and stuff like that. We drive out of state and go to tournaments and things like that. God, I wish I kept my cards. They would have been worth so
Oh,
much
oh,
money. Oh my God.
man.
I had the most expensive card that is out there. I had it. It was it's called a Black Lotus. And I owned a beta one. When we got in during the first unlimited set that they did. So it was right after the alpha and right after the beta. And of course, my buddy that owned the comic book store was the one, hey, you guys should play this. I'm selling this now. So you all should play this game. So we all got into it. And I can remember going to these tournaments, and we would buy boxes of the new sets, which were expensive enough. But then I would take them and I would trade these dealers for the old cards. They didn't want the old ones anymore. So I was getting like Moxes, Lotus, all of these
Oh.
expensive cards. I had them all. And now my friend who would go to the tournaments with me came up to me one day, and I hadn't seen him in a while since we stopped playing. And he's like, Joe, did you ever look to see what our cards go for? And I said, no. And I said, sorry about my dog barking.
No, you're fine. I'm sure
Um,
mine do that at some point too.
she must see someone outside. But I'm like, I don't think I probably want to, do I? And he's like, you're going to make yourself sick. And now he made out good. His collection he sold, he got a down payment on his house. That's okay. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
When I sold mine, I think I got a couple thousand. I got a couple $1,000 for them. I looked at that card. Now the beta Black Lotus I have was in mint condition. I looked at it online. It's selling for $50,000. I'm like, oh my God, I would have been a millionaire. And the thing is,
Yeah, a million. That's
I
good
was,
math.
I was like, yeah, right. That's a
Did
little
you have
far away.
Did you have multiple
but I
of
mean,
the card?
I had 2 of them,
Oh,
but then all the other ones I had, they called them the Power 9. I had every one of them, all of
oh
them.
man.
And they're all selling for like thousands and thousands of dollars. And the funny thing is, they're not just sitting there. People from overseas are buying them because they could never get them.
Oh wow.
They weren't sold in Japan. They were only sold in the United States. So none of these people had them. So it's like I called them up and I said, you were right. I shouldn't have looked. But who thinks of that?
You don't think of it when you,
No.
yeah, like
No.
people who collected Beanie Babies. Who knew?
Exactly. Yep.
I never collected anything because I have
Yep.
ADHD. I started a hobby and I was straight on to the next one when I thought I had mastered it.
That's well, you know what? In that respect, it's kind of better, I think, maybe to be that way.
Maybe.
Because you're not sorry about the stuff that you know. But yeah, I wouldn't. It wasn't like the game kind of died out because Pokemon came around, and all the places we were going to play our tournaments, the Pokemon was kind of taken over there because the shop owners had to adjust. They had to go with what was big. So we kind of stopped anyway, and my cards were just sitting there, and I'm like, what am I going to do with them? So, there were a couple of things I had going on, a trip I wanted to take, and I'm like, it paid for my trip. So it was like, whatever, what are you going to do? But yeah, but Snap is, I got into it because I had played a game. Oh man. Marvel Battle Lines that came out, lasted for literally from Infinity War to Black Panther. So I want to say maybe 5 months, but it basically was on a game board that looked like a tic-tac-toe board. And you'd set like your characters, you'd buy cards and the cards would give you the characters. So if you got if you got a card that had Thanos on it, which was extremely rare, and these card packs, literally $50 to $75 to buy.
And the game only went on for 5 months.
And the game went on for 5 months. So needless to say, I was going, because this is when I was in MCU craze, because I was watching the movies and everything like that. So I just wanted something to play that had all these characters in it. So I'm blowing money like crazy on this game. And then one day I'm playing and I'm seeing, oh, cool, a new set's coming out for Black Panther. And next thing you know, very next day after I read that, comes up and says, we'll be shutting this game down. And I'm like, oh,
did they refund you any money?
Nothing.
They didn't Concord. They didn't.
Nothing.
At least Concord refunded all the people who bought the game.
Company went out of business.
Oh no.
Nothing at all. That's why I tell people at Snap is like, don't ever feel bad for doing things that you do with them monetary wise, because I got burned for probably hundreds and hundreds of dollars for this stupid game that lasted all of 6-7 months that me and another friend of mine played.
I feel like Marvel Snap has staying power.
I agree.
They do regular updates, and they listen, and they give generous compensation, in my opinion, at least. And they communicate. Even if I'm not really good at reading all the communication, they do communicate a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you in their creator program?
I am. Oh, nice. I am in the creator program. I'm not extremely active. I don't really chat a whole lot in the creator chat.
Yeah.
I will start my stream and I'll learn stuff that's coming up in the game from chat, and I had no idea because I've been just so busy during the week that I play a few games here and there and don't really read anything. Don't read the Discord.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it is. It's like, I'm kind of the play style. The amount of times I can play aren't and nearly as what I would want to play, I guess. You talked about, now I got to talk to you about tilting, because, oh my God, do I get to the point of where I tilt in this game? Probably more than anything else. I get so mad. I want to ask you if you noticed this, because I want to think that I'm not crazy, right? About 3 months ago, it was this year, the beginning of this year, and it was after the patch. the first patch that we got, the climb to infinite got harder.
It did.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know if it was just me, but
Nope. I've
and
noticed it too.
and I try to play off meta type stuff, but
Mhm.
this season when I switched to a Thanos deck with Shang-Chi in it, I blew through the 90s.
Did you?
I
Yeah.
did. But I do feel like it has been harder.
Yes, I agree.
It may
And
just be feels, but it does. I mean, it does.
it's funny because like I've heard so many people have been talking to me about it. Like I know I ended up meeting some of the guys that were on Born to Be Cosmos. So Zombies Go Nom Nom and a couple other people from there, and they've all told me similar things. It's like it just doesn't seem like, it seems like when you're in like the 70s or even like part of the 80s, you're still getting you're still very same or similar patterns. You're still seeing the bots that play lousy. And then all of a sudden, like when I got up into the 80s, it was like number one, either wasn't seeing bots at all, or they're just way better. And it's like, it's crazy. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't just get bad at this game all of a sudden. Like it's just, it's gotten tougher.
I don't see them at all in the 90s. They do now have your exact collection level, though.
I did notice that too. Yeah.
So bots can be in alliances. So you have to check their collection level. It's really weird. But they'll throw down something weird like a Carnage on 2 on nothing, and you're like, oh, maybe I should see if this is a bot.
Yep.
In the 90s, I maybe see 1 or 2. It's it feels a lot more rare in the 90s now.
What gets you tilting in the game? What tilts you out in Mars?
Oh, just bad luck or losing 50-50s and just it happening repeatedly mostly.
Yep.
And Ms. Marvel emotes don't help.
Oh, I know. Yeah, no, I can't tell you how many people I've muted. I was like, yeah.
I have 2 wolves inside of me. The one that wants to salty emote and the one that mutes everybody.
Yep.
I can't. They fight all the time.
Oh man, the other night I was playing and I got double shanged by an RSM deck. And no, wait,
but it's not supposed to happen anymore, right? It was from Iron Patriot. It wasn't from Iron Patriot because I got double Elias from an Iron Patriot.
Yeah, it had to be because they played Iron Patriot early. And actually, no, it wasn't double shanged. I got triple shanged. I got Grandmaster shanged and then shanged again. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And I was just playing them with a stupid Shuri deck. So I was just playing with a big-bodied Shuri deck, but I had every lane won, and then there you go, 1, 2, 3 gone. All 3 of my lanes. I'm like, are you out of your mind? I just literally, I'm like, phone went down, game went down. I'm like, I'm going to bed. Like that's it. I'm just not playing anymore. Oh
yeah,
man.
I mean, if I'm playing in high voltage, I try to take a moment and just remember that losses don't really matter in high voltage.
Yes.
I'm not losing a game token. I'm not losing any points. Like I'm not deranking. High voltage, that's why I love high voltage. It's even when you lose, it doesn't feel as bad. There's less bad feel. I mean, when you get shanged, it does still suck, but you don't lose any progress or lose a turn to play.
Yeah,
which is nice.
Well, let's talk about high voltage because obviously it's out there now. I like the mode too because it's there's no stress, right? There's no who cares. Like
no stress.
It's all you're doing is missions. So it doesn't even really matter. And then I see, I'm playing last night and I see 3 straight Hella players. And I'm like, you're playing Hella on this mode. You are seriously playing Hella in this. I'm like, I put on my Twitter today. I'm like, if you're playing Hella in high voltage, you need an intervention. I'm like, you absolutely need an intervention. Cause like, it's like, I was getting tilted with Hella over until the patch happened, and people are still playing it.
Yeah, Hella was so tough to deal with. It was so rough. I switched to Clog for a brief moment, but it really wasn't working against anything else because a lot of people are playing Destroy stuff right now. Thanos Destroy is a big one right now, and that's actually I think what I climbed to Infinite with, some kind of Thanos Destroy deck with Shang-Chi because.
Yeah, it's oh my god. But yeah, that had me going, and then I was like, yep,
I'm
I am
not
like
trying to shang 3 lanes, though. I'm not a monster
oh my
monster. I'm not
god.
that
I
kind of a
couldn't
monster.
even believe it. And it's like all the people playing Shang-Chi in and I know I think I said to somebody on online yesterday, I'm like, I kind of almost wish they'd ban Shang in high voltage. Just let people play goofy combos. Who cares? Like
Mhm.
when are you going to see these crazy Zola combos and everything like
Yeah,
that in a regular deck?
Juggernaut and
Yeah,
Negasonic are also running
agreed.
rampant right
Yeah,
now.
agreed. Yeah, the two of them too. Like I'm like get rid of some. They got rid of Eliath because they didn't want them spoiling people's fun, which I completely understand that. But like I think it just do away with Shang-Chi and get rid of some of
Yeah.
these other like obnoxious cards and let people just have fun with like goofy decks. That's really what it should be.
I actually built my high voltage deck on stream, and it's got Nick Fury and Isan.
Yeah.
It's just
See, that's
it's a
what. Yeah.
wild it's got Wiccan, so because turn 1 Wiccan's always nice, and then Isan can pull some random stuff. It's
Yep.
just kinda fun.
What's your go-to decks? What do you like to play the most?
I like I like everything
Okay.
except I go through phases. Like, right now I do really kinda like Thanos Destroy.
Mhm.
The non Shang-Chi version, maybe something late with Lady Deathstrike in it.
Okay.
But Firehair's been so much fun. Um, I played a Hammer Bros
Oh, the one with the hammers. Yeah.
Firehair deck that was just a blast to play. I was beating Tribunal decks because
I
my Beta Ray Bills were 96 power and I had 2 of them. I should make content on that because, it was really good. I should find time to
That's
make a video on that one.
it sounds fun. I saw a couple people trying to do that, and those they just get so big.
They do. When
Yeah,
it's kind of awkward to play if you wanna
yeah,
do, like, a double Beta Ray Bill, but it can work out really well.
yep, yeah. What card this month? So we'll go. Let me see. You know what? Hold on. Let me see if I have a couple of slides here, but I don't really know if I have the current cards. I think I only have Khonshu because I was going to talk to you about Khonshu. Um, what's your favorite card for this month so far?
So far, it's Firehair.
You like Firehair
I
the
think
best?
she's just a blast to play, and I hate playing Mill, and I hate playing against Mill, but I had so much fun playing Mill that's the content that I made for my YouTube video on Monday.
With Firehair, right?
But
Yeah.
it had just I mean, I played against a lot of Mill also, so there
Yeah.
were just some crazy esports moments. It was great. It was a great time.
That's awesome. Yeah, yeah. Mill can be obnoxious, but it's like it's
It's not great. It has, like, a 53% win rate on Untapped
yeah,
with a lot of
yeah.
games, so, that's the same deck that I played, so it's obnoxious, but it's not great, great.
See,
You
I
can beat
think
it.
the deck I would say that is obnoxious to me is the Master Mold one. That one I think is obnoxious. I can't stand that.
There's a game where I beat them. I beat a Master
Did
Mold
you?
deck with Kamar-Taj and a
Okay.
handful of Sentinels, and
Yep.
I persevered.
They're not easy to beat, especially now that they have
No.
Gorgon in their decks, and the Gorgon makes them cost more, and it's like, yeah, that's
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
sucks.
Gorgon is
Um,
the new feel bad card.
it
He's the
is.
new Mobius.
It is. Yeah. Well, you know what? In a way, I think that kind of prevented because I thought for sure when they made that Loki change, I thought for sure that Loki was going to go crazy, and I thought everybody was going to be playing it again. But I think Gorgon may have stopped people from doing it. So
Yeah, I had Gorgon in my Thanos deck.
yeah.
That's a special kind of evil.
I always liked I wanted from the time that Thanos and the big bads got announced, I wanted to get Thanos right like early on. The first one I pulled was Galactus. The first one I got out of the cast was a
Oh,
Galactus.
wow. You're lucky.
Yes. And I remember pulling it and I remember I was getting ready for work in the morning. I was messing around with my phone. I got it. I'm like, okay. I read it. I looked at it. I'm like, I don't think I'd ever want to play this. Why would I want to blow up the other locations? Why would I want to do that? Until someone played it against me and they
You're like,
used the
"Oh,
Spider-Man crap. And I'm like,
oh,
okay, that's why I want to do this. Because I'll tell you, if I would have played that early on, I would have probably been hitting Infinite way early than I ended up doing so the first time. But I like Thanos, man. I love the character. When I saw him on the screen in that post-credit scene, and during Avengers at the end of the post-credits, I literally am like, oh my God, this is amazing. So I like him. I like the way they constructed it. I like the stones and everything like that. But
It's fun. It's gone through its evolutions, and it's in
Mhm.
a pretty good place. It took me a long time to get Thanos and Galactus. It took
Did
me
it?
forever,
Yeah.
yeah, because you had, like, a 5% chance to roll a
Yeah.
series 5 at some point, and
Yep. Yep.
just
That was
never
when you were
did it.
going up the ladder and you pull. Yeah, I was shocked I got him. I was shocked I got Galactus the way it was. And I was like, yeah, I was surprised I got him. But I've liked him since the early Fantastic Four comics. I can't wait to see the movie. And
I
they
can't
actually
wait to
have
see
to, oh
Fantastic
my
Four.
God. Yeah, I'm excited. They have Herbie the robot, who I grew up with watching cartoons. Because for whatever reason, and there's all kind of legend and lore about why why Johnny Storm wasn't in the cartoon. I think it's a licensing thing that
Hmm.
Marvel had. It was back because this cartoon was made. Oh my gosh, when was it? Late 70s, probably 78, 79, maybe in and around there. And that's when they replaced Johnny with Herbie. And I'm like, where's Human Torch? Because I always loved the character. And I'm like, why isn't he in this cartoon? And then all these years later, I find out it was either a licensing thing or it was because kids were literally looking at him and burning themselves, like setting themselves
No.
on fire. And I'm like, no, that can't be it. But yeah, I'm so excited to see. Have you seen the other ones? Did you see the Fox ones?
Yes, it's been a while, but yes.
Yeah. I mean, it was what we had at the time, right? So the only thing though, the cast was good. I hated Doom. I thought I call him Yuppie Doom.
Nip tuck
That's
guy.
Yuppie. Yeah, that's Yuppie Doctor Doom. That's rich guy Doctor Doom, right?
Right.
And then the other one, the third one they made, where the Thing was like naked, and Doctor Doom was this like sorcerer who was blowing up people's heads.
I
That
don't think I
was that
saw
was
that one.
that was the one where they had the first two with the original cast. So that was Chris Evans and all them. And then
Mhm.
they had the second one was with Silver Surfer. And then they made another that had a completely different cast.
Oh, right. It had,
Yes.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Yes. Yep. Michael B.
I
Jordan
think
was
I
Human
have seen
Torch.
that one,
Yes.
and
Yep.
it's,
The Doctor Doom in it
well,
literally had ESP and was blowing up people's heads. I'm like, yeah, this isn't supposed to be how Doctor Doom is. So they've gotten that character wrong for so many times. I'm so excited to finally see him. And of course, Galactus was in, if you want to call it Galactus, Rise of the Silver Surfer, but he was a cloud.
right,
He was the big
right.
cloud. And I'm like,
I
oh,
remember that. I remember
yeah,
that being a disappointment for other people, so I was
yeah.
disappointed for
I
them.
was very sad when it was this big purple cloud. I'm like, that's not who he is. But you know what? To your point from before, they just may have not had the money or the budget to do it. Like the
True.
special effects to have him on a screen would probably have been insanely expensive back then.
Very true.
So,
They can
but
do a lot more now.
yeah, oh God. And people are still, you saw the trailer for it, right?
For the new yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, people are still complaining. And after they watch that, people are coming to me and saying, how can that be him when he's on Earth and he's so small? I'm like, you need to read a comic book. He could change his size. He interacts with human beings and he could change his size. He can go from being gigantic to when he eats the planets to being smaller. He's still big,
Oh,
but smaller, where he can go and put himself on a planet to talk to humans.
okay.
So but they were mad about it. They're like, oh, he's not small like that. That's stupid. And so I'm no, it's not. But I'm very excited.
People are gonna
I
complain about
They
everything.
are, I know. They find things to bitch about no matter what it is. And I'm
They
thinking to
do.
myself, like, I'm just happy that it's there. I'm just glad it's coming. That's gonna be a
Yeah.
killer. That's gonna be a killer month too. Superman comes out that month, 2 weeks
Oh,
prior
yeah.
to Fantastic Four. So I'm gonna be in all my glory. I'm glad I have my Cinemark membership because I'm gonna be using my free tickets.
Oh, yeah, we
Um,
we we bought our big popcorn bucket for the
yep.
year. Mhm.
Yep. They're supposed to have there was a guy released them, and I think he got in trouble for it. but he put out the popcorn buckets for Fantastic Four. There's one for each character.
Oh, why we've never gone where you can get the fun popcorn bucket. I think you have to go on the first day, right? Or opening day.
Kind of, if you want. Yeah, you almost have
Yeah.
to, or they're kind of sold out. Now the Captain America ones they had when I went, which I was surprised because I didn't go until the following Monday. And they still had some in the theater when I went there. So maybe they're just starting to get more, but they literally have a Galactus head. So his helmet is a popcorn bucket. And the picture they showed had the popcorn inside of it. And they literally had a compartment in there for like the dude's cell phone. He had his cell phone inside of the helmet. So
Oh, that's so cool.
yeah. So it's like the helmet's big. The thing was, I can't remember. Oh my gosh. I can't remember what all of them look like now, but I'm like, yeah, he leaked it early, but they look amazing. So I'm pretty excited.
I'm going to have to look them up.
Yeah. And did you see the Fantastic Four or the Superman trailer?
I did. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Did you die when Crypto came on? I'm like, oh my God, Crypto's there.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
Crypto?
No, who's that?
Crypto's his dog.
Is that the dog? Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah. Crypto's his dog.
Aww.
Yeah.
It looks awesome. It looks like
does.
they really put a lot of love into it, and I can't
Yeah.
wait to see it.
I'm excited just for the fact that James Gunn's running that.
Yeah.
I loved he got me to like Guardians of the Galaxy because I had never read them in comics, didn't know who they were. I went in there completely blind. And I remember watching that movie, and it's one of my favorite ones. I absolutely loved it.
Great. The soundtrack instantly
God,
sucks you into the first one. And
all the 70s music.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yep. And I'm excited. I'm really excited to see James Gunn. So far, I watched. Of course, I saw the what was the first thing that they did? Oh, well, Peacemaker. Peacemaker, I love that.
Oh, yeah.
I love Peacemaker. And then he did Creature Commandos, the animated series.
We watched that.
That was a lot of fun. I thought that was great. So I'm really I think Disney and Marvel going to be sad they lost him, but they fired him earlier and then brought him back. So hey, you got to do what you got to do. And but I'm excited to see that. I think that's going to be a fun time. Yeah,
absolutely.
So we have one card left in the month. We're already almost at the end. These months go so quick. It's insane. We have Khonshu that's going to come out this week. Are you a discard player?
I have been known to dabble in discard. I haven't I haven't played a lot of discard lately, even though Bullseye is really good.
Mm-hmm.
But Khonshu,
this card looks really fun.
I'm going to be very interested to play Khonshu, especially with first Ghost Rider.
Yeah. That's the fact that you're going to be able to get, what does that do again? It gets rid of your lowest card.
It discards your lowest power card and deletes that power from it, which I think it has 5 power to start.
Yep. This is I like how the moon phases change on him. I think that's cool.
That detail is so cool.
It is. It's really neat. And of course, he's from Moon Knight. If people haven't watched the Moon Knight series, I think this is going to be, and it's going to be a different kind of a discard deck, though, right? It's not necessarily going to be your static like Apocalypse discard. It's going to have like different cards in there. You're probably going to have to play Corvus Glaive, I'd imagine, in it too.
Maybe, it may bring back Corvus for sure. I think it's going to bring a lot of variety to discard, which it needs.
Yeah.
I mean, Bullseye and Scorn both brought a lot of variety. It made Dokken relevant again, which is super awesome.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah. That deck is really strong and can go very good. It goes very tall. Like I was surprised at how big that gets.
It really does. One of my favorite things was Perry Manilow's Vampire Slayer deck, where you would Super Giant and then MODOK, Arnim Zola, your Dokken, and get so many shards in your hand.
Yep. That's good. Yeah, that's crazy.
That was good times.
I wish they wouldn't fast forward some of the effects as much though, because you don't get to see all that fun stuff, especially Bullseye. Bullseye's just too fast. You can't see any of it anymore.
It is too fast. I had a Firehair one fast forward, and I was like, "What just happened?"
Yes,
and the board was totally different.
Yep. Yeah, Firehair does it too. Yeah, they gotta cut back on that fast.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
I do too.
I get it. Like, please fast forward like Wong Mystique.
Yes, for sure.
Ironheart Odin.
Yeah.
On Onslaught Citadel.
Yes. Yeah.
please. The other stuff, like, you can leave that. I wanna see what gets discarded, like, that's helpful. I mean, you can click on
Yep.
it, but it's kinda bugged out right now, right?
Yeah, you can't. What's the one card that
It
you
was
know what drives me crazy when you're playing Mill now and you don't see you discard a card from Yondu either, which is really weird. You have to
Yeah,
go
you
back and
have to
look.
go look what it banishes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
weird. It
Yep.
needs a new animation.
Yeah, I
I
think
have to believe they're working on one. I have
yeah,
to believe.
hopefully they will because I like the arrow and I liked when you would see the card just go
It
whoop and
it should
disappear. Yeah.
just be yeah, the whistle was
Mhm.
perfect. They
It
should
was.
just put that back in.
Yep. Yep. I agree. But yeah, this is the last card of this month. And what'd you think of the month overall? I mean, I thought it was a pretty, the Agamotto card was really fun. We got
I love that. I'm loving
Mhm.
Agamotto and High Voltage too.
Yeah. Yep. You got the spells and stuff like that, which was neat. So now it's kind of cool because it reminded me of Magic, where now we have instants in Marvel Snap. It's basically like an instant. Those spells are like an
Mhm.
instant. And so I kind of like that. They're doing different things. And now next month we're gonna get the stuff with the rows, right? So we're gonna have front
Right.
row, back row. So it's
It's it
cool.
it's
Yeah.
crazy. We talked about how it's hard it feels harder to climb to infinite, and it's ha
Yep.
like, I don't know if there's a reason for that or if the game is just getting so many different tools that
That's a good point.
it's hard to know what your opponent's playing because they could be playing a completely different version of the same deck,
That's true.
sort of, you know?
Yeah, that is
So
true.
there's a lot of there's the meta is in a good place when Surfer is pretty good, so
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff that's good right now,
Yeah, Cam Best
and
just
there's a
did a
lot of tech.
Cam Best just did a video on Surfer deck. I think that he's playing up at High Infinite. So it's like, and it's a
Yeah.
run of the mill Surfer deck, but it's yeah, like it seems like I love your opinion on this too. The season pass cards are just very strong,
Yeah.
very very strong lately, which is smart. And I don't understand that people coming out and saying, "Oh, they're making them too." They have to make it strong. That's how they sell the
Hey,
game.
you paid $10 for it, you don't
Yeah,
wanna pay $10 for a complete dud.
right. 100, yeah, exactly. Like, and I mean, Iron obviously, Sam Wilson is in so many decks,
Oh, yeah.
and is just a really good card. So, but yeah, I like that they're trying new things, and they're doing new things. Now, are you how they had a lot of people talking about new game modes, right? are you are you hoping that they come out with something new, like not the shorter ones necessarily, but something like a draft mode that they mentioned or something along those lines? Like, I've had people tell me yes, they definitely want to see that. I've had other people say I see, I don't know that they can do a draft mode properly. I've played other card games that had draft modes and you need a lot of cards, a
I
lot of
don't
cards.
My only experience with draft modes is watching a couple of streamers use, like, a third party app
Yeah,
to do some sort of draft mode.
yeah,
I don't know. I mean,
yeah,
that seems kinda fun. I do tend to like to play random decks that I get random cards like Helicarrier and
yep.
Aerosham sometimes. So, just sometimes for missions usually.
Yeah,
But, I like to play some random decks, so, I don't know. It might be fun. I love High Voltage. It's my favorite.
I do too.
It's the
Yeah,
least grindy, it's the
yeah,
most casual, and you don't feel bad when you lose because 'cause you're not, like, losing a turn,
it's true.
like in Deadpool's Diner and Sanctum.
Yeah, yeah. The only thing about Sanctum, I think, was great for the stuff you got, like the
There
cards that you got and everything like
If
that.
you wanted to grind it out, you could get a lot of stuff. I
Mhm.
kinda stopped once I hit the top, or I did a few more games because I was, like, a few, things away from getting a border, so
Yeah,
I stopped after that, though. I was like, "No more."
I'm being the completist I am. I had to get the dumb title. I could have stopped very easily and just
I got
not
the
and said
title.
I wanted the Sorcerer Supreme title. I'm like, yeah, I have to get the title and grind for the title. Then after that, I kind of stopped playing. But I are you collection complete? Do you have all the cards?
I would like to say yes because
Okay.
Emperor Hulkling does not count.
The problem Oakland
Emperor
does.
Hulkling is the only card in my token shop ever.
Okay.
The only card that if I open him in a random spotlight with a random spotlight key, cool. But otherwise, I'm never gonna own that card.
It's not, you're not missing anything.
It's
Yeah,
the only card I
thank
don't
you.
have. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I'm collection complete. Yes.
It's funny because a lot of people are like yourself that that's a card they didn't get, and the other one that a lot of them didn't get was Bruce Banner, and now a lot of them got it because of because of Sanctum.
I
They
own
pulled
Bruce
it in them.
Banner.
Do you
I don't
have
think
Bruce? Yeah.
yeah, I don't I've played him maybe a few times.
I think he's better now. I think he's a little better now since the OTA update. He changes more, but it still is
Yeah,
like if you ever get the urge to play high Evo, it's probably the only place I would think for him, and it
I've
probably
seen
the
him a
only
lot in
good
high
place.
voltage.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I mean, a
yeah,
33% chance over 3 turns if you can get him down in turn 1 seems pretty good.
yeah,
But I'm playing Lady Deathstrike though, so
yeah.
sorry.
You're gonna kill it before it gets a chance. Yeah, but I no, I agree. Deadpool's Diner to me was extremely sweaty. The first two, both of them were. Now the first one, I was like, okay, I kind of knew it would be, but that whole thing was weird to begin with because I remember I was watching It's Guest Gaming stream before his video came out. And then he kept talking about, oh, I'm not sure why they're going to or why they didn't release the video yet. And I think a lot of people probably should have seen it because they would have
Yeah,
known a little better how to play.
it was confusing at first.
Yeah, it was. And then the other bad thing was when he was able to play, I saw him blow through it. He literally blew through it, and all he was getting was bots. So then I'm like, oh, this is going to be easy. So then I jumped in and I got no bots whatsoever. None.
Dang.
I got like no. And it was so hard to get through. But I knew that was going to be rough because they made that out to be that you need to play this because you need to get Cassandra Nova because that's
Because
what's
of
going to shut down
Arishem.
the RSM decks.
Mhm.
And everybody was in there like just grinding and grinding. Oh my God, that was a nightmare.
I will
And
say I've grinded out every special mode for the top reward.
I did too.
I got that Cassandra variant. I got
Yep.
that Jane Foster variant.
Me too.
Blood,
Yep.
sweat, and tears.
Yep. Me too. That's the completionist in me.
Yep.
I told myself the second one, which I thought, okay, this says King Eitri, not great, right? And I'm like, there's no way this can be as sweaty as the last one. Well, it was worse. It was literally worse. I'm like, what is going on? And then I'm like, I got so fed up with it after I got Eitri. I'm like, I'm done. I'm not getting that dumb Jane variant. I don't care. And I ended up going and getting it anyway.
Yeah.
I was like, but yeah. Yep.
Might as well. You might
Yep.
as well. It's like you got 5 more days in the event. Like you might
Yep.
as well, right?
Yep.
I don't know. I felt
Yep.
the same way.
Yep. But yeah, high voltage is definitely the best one. It's the most fun one too, and it's
It's
the
the
most
most
quick
fun
one.
one.
Yeah.
As a casual, it is my favorite.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. I would just, I guess, when it comes down to it, maybe they are just better off coming up with newer little things like that to do. I don't know. It's hard to say. Like from your standpoint, you stream the game, so giving you more content to do is always a good thing, I would imagine, right? Whenever you
Oh
have
yeah.
something going on, it just changes your streams up a little bit for you.
Absolutely. I didn't know high voltage started on Friday when I started my stream.
I didn't know either.
Somebody told me
I
and I was
logged
like,
in
"Oh."
yesterday and I'm like, oh damn, this starts today. Yeah. Yep.
I was like, "Oh, that's cool. We have something else to do, and we
Yep.
probably won't switch to rivals because we're gonna have fun."
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Whether they're going to do that or whether they're going to do. People are asking them for a new roadmap and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens. But
It's really hard as a later collection level player to gauge how the new player experience feels now because
yeah,
it felt so different back when we were climbing up those ranks.
that's true.
I
Yeah,
It's
that's
really
true.
hard to put myself in those shoes.
Yeah. I had fun with the game when I first started it. I was enjoying that. Like I would go to Snap Zone and check my cards off because they had that big checklist of all the cards that
Mhm.
were there, and you can go and click the cards. And yeah, I had fun with that. Although I wasn't getting anything that could make a very cohesive deck. I had bits and pieces of like everything.
Oh, no. Yeah, going through the pool 3 experience was, really
That
tough.
was yeah, and I could
I
yeah.
I made an alt account at one point just to play pool 1 and 2 again, but once I hit
Did
pool
you?
3, I was like, "Okay, this I might as well just be playing on my main account now because I don't feel like missing cards to
Yeah,
complete a deck
yeah,
anymore." But pool 1
yeah.
and 2 experience is fun, and, like, if you feel like doing that again, I recommend it. It was was cool. I did
Yeah.
not hit infinite, but that would be my goal to try to hit infinite in pool 1 and 2. Pool 1
Yeah.
and 2.
Yeah, that must be kind of cool. I mean, you see like these lower CL play like I'll run up against lower CL players. I was talking to Nina about this. I said I oftentimes will play now. My CL is like 38,000. I think I'm 38K. I'm
I'm
going right
close.
around there. And I'll end up playing players that are 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. And I'm like, what the hell? Like and Nina's like, what time do you play? And I said, very late. I'm a night owl. I'll sometimes stay up until 2 a.m. and that's when I play a lot of times. I'll
I
play
did
like
last night. I played
did you?
really late. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like playing at like 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. And she said, it's probably why you're running into all the low level CL players. And I'm like, it could
Hmm.
be. I don't know. But the thing with them though is a lot of times you just don't expect what they're going to play because they're
No.
playing with different cards than you are. So it's not as predictable. And you mentioned that earlier in the discussion. Like that's one thing about this game. When you can see and predict what somebody's playing, it makes it so much easier for you to deal with it. But when they're playing something that you're not expecting, like I had someone play the old Ultron what was it that they used to play back in the lower CL levels? It's Ultron and
Like
something.
Patriot?
Patriot Ultron decks,
Mhm.
yes. And that doesn't get played much.
No.
But I had someone play it on me and I'm like, and they won. I'm like, they outbeat me because I just wasn't ready for it. I was like, okay, I know what they're doing now, and I have no way to beat this.
When you haven't been
Um,
Ultroned in months, you don't
yeah,
expect it.
yeah, exactly. It's like, but so every creator I've talked to, and I want to ask you the same thing. Tell me your favorite thing about the game and tell me one thing if you had the power to do so, would fix about it.
My favorite thing about the game is that every game feels different.
Yeah.
Even the bad ones, the locations make every game feel different
Mhm.
and your opponents and I just really like figuring like when Arishem released, I loved it at first until people optimized it.
Yeah.
I loved getting the random cards and figuring out what I could do with them. I didn't
Mhm.
just throw a bunch of tech cards in there and call it a day. But
Yep.
then when it became that, I was like, okay, Arishem kind of sucks now.
Yep.
But like, I like the moments that you don't expect, you
Yep.
know?
Yep.
It's just, the game, I find myself laughing so much and
Mhm.
just moments of pure joy. And then moments of pure frustration too.
Yeah.
It's a roller
Yeah.
coaster.
No, you're right. It does. It goes both ways. You can, you can, and I love, and it's like you were talking about earlier with the clips and stuff like that. When you make those clips and everything, and you make them about these crazy things that happen, it's just it's fun to watch.
Yeah, it really is.
And
I
now
love
if
watching snap shorts.
oh yeah, they're a lot of fun to do. There used to be a guy. They don't do it anymore. I don't know what the name of the YouTube page was, but they used to take clips of players playing. So they take clips of creators playing
Oh.
on stream, and they would show like the craziest things that happened to some of these creators during the course of the day.
Oh, okay.
So it was fun. That had to be. It was maybe 4 or 5 months after the game started.
Yeah, there I
And
mean,
then
I also miss what was it? The snapping.
the snapping was hilarious.
Miss
Yes,
you guys.
yes, yeah. That's
That was
who.
the first thing that I decided to say yes to that when they asked me to be on it, because I don't say yes to a lot of stuff because 'cause I'm super shy in real life.
You don't seem like it.
I know I don't. I'm good at masking.
Oh, no, I couldn't tell. Nerf Herder was involved with that, wasn't he?
Yes.
I think. Yeah,
Mhm.
Nerf Herder's hilarious. Nerf Herder is on my show. He's funny to talk to. But yeah, they were great. Yeah, I
They
absolutely
were.
loved that. I thought that was really, really well done and really like very well thought out.
Yes.
Very, very clever. How they
But
did that show. Yeah,
they put so much effort into it.
yep,
It's sad that it left us. We
yeah.
didn't deserve them.
You're right. You are right. What is one thing you would fix? So if you could if you were the devs and you could make something better about Snap, what would it be?
I don't know.
Okay.
Make Shang-Chi 2 power, not 3.
Oh my God. They need to do something about Shang-Chi. I agree. I
I
like yeah.
I really don't know. Because I come from a place of pure ignorance on card games and balancing, but I think that with the exception of not this past OTA, the 2 OTAs before when the meta was kind of iffy and it became really tough to climb, and the OTA kinda didn't really adjust anything, uh, that was kinda weird. But aside from that, I think that they're really good at, like, addressing cards that have
Mhm.
been out of control, and I think as long as they continue to listen and to do what they're doing and regularly balance and don't let things fall by the wayside. And also, please, the mobile app is so buggy. Please help
Oh
us.
god,
We
yes.
need help with the mobile app. As a mostly
I
mobile player,
Me
please.
too. I am as well. That's all I play it on my phone and my tablet. On my tablet, it's unplayable. I
There's some
cannot.
big disconnect issues and
Yep.
yeah.
I can't play it on my iPad. Literally, and my iPad's not even that old. It's 2 years old, and it crashes constantly,
Yeah,
constantly.
I don't know what the deal is, but
Yeah, I
it needs
agree.
some help.
All right, now do you play on Apple or you play on Android?
Android.
Okay, so yeah,
Mhm.
so then I'm okay. Then it's going on both. I was thinking to myself, well, maybe it's just Apple that it happens on, but apparently not.
No, and then there's just
Um,
a lot of audio. Like, I think on PC yesterday, we got a wind tunnel glitch where it sounded like we were in a wind tunnel,
oh
and I
God.
had to restart the game because it just kept going on game after game after game, and
Man.
I was like, "Oh, we're still in the wind tunnel, let me restart this game."
Oh gosh. Yeah,
Just
that
little stuff like that. I mean, I know that it's a game and it's buggy, but the mobile app needs some love.
yeah. There's some little like quality of life things that I hope they work on. They mentioned them on the roadmap, and I hope we got like one of the things for me, and I laugh about it because it's such a small little thing, but please give us a different game board. Like
Yeah.
just
Oh, yeah.
get rid of that dull ass asteroid and put something better on the screen. But
Yeah.
they teased it because I remember they teased a screen of the Savage Land. You saw like dinos and stuff on the side and trees and everything like that. So they teased it. So maybe it's coming, but like
I hope
just
so. Because the
that's something
first
like
few moments of Sanctum were really exciting with that new game
yeah,
board. Sanctum did
yeah,
figure out its welcome pretty fast, but the new game board was stunning. I
it
loved it.
was. Yeah, I mean, and they can do that. Like somebody had mentioned, I forget who it was. It might have been Alex Kocha. They were talking about that. That you can have them for like different seasons. Like in October, you can have like a Halloween one.
Oh,
Christmas
yeah.
time, you can have a Christmas. You could do they could do so many things with that. And the other thing, good God, please give us more deck spaces. Like
Oh, god, yeah, I've actually seen somebody posted on Blue Sky, that they would pay the extra money for the battle pass if it
I,
gave an additional
right?
10 deck slot, and I'm like, "Fair." I
Like
think I would too.
I would definitely like even if they put them in the shop and they said here $10 and you get 20 decks. I would
Sell them
definitely
for
pay the 10
gold.
bucks.
I'll save up gold
Yep,
for deck slots.
yep.
I mean, I do go through phases where, like, if I start a season and nothing's working, I'll just delete everything and start from scratch, but I do often find myself with no deck slots because I like to play so much different stuff
Yep.
at all times.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's just like little like you were saying about the bugs, obviously that kind of stuff. I wouldn't even care if they took a patch and just fixed bugs. Just fix all that stuff in a patch. It doesn't even have to have card stuff. It doesn't have to have anything. Just fix the stuff. And then just these little tiny goofy quality of life things that would just make life that much like just make it better.
Oh, yeah.
And just make
Adding
the
the
game.
destroyed and discarded piles was really good, and
Yeah,
the being able to
yeah,
undo your end turn was huge.
yeah,
That I can't even remember what the game was like before that was a thing,
yeah,
because I always end turn before I want to, because I think about something after,
yeah. I've done
and,
that.
oh, man, undo end turn has been a lifesaver.
Yep. Yep. I agree because I've done that. I've hit that button countless times, and then you're like, "No, I didn't mean to do that."
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, but yeah, it's let's see if I have. What did you think of the OTA?
I thought the Black Cat was thank you for that. Hella still sucks.
It does. And to me, it's still good. I'm not seeing. I know they took 9 points of power away from it, but it's like I don't know. I ran into 3 Helidecks the other night. All three of them beat me, and it was
It's
like
just an
it.
easy deck to
it
play. It's
I
so
honest. Yeah,
linear and so
it
it's
is.
easy. I those are
Yep.
the decks that I dislike. Like
Yep.
Shuri decks are kind of linear.
Yep.
I like playing decks where every game is different. Like
Yep.
Kate Bishop, I love Kate Bishop. Penny Parker's was really awesome when she came out.
Yeah, Penny
Wiccan's,
is fun.
I think Wiccan's my favorite card in the game.
Wiccan is very, very cool. And that's the thing about Wiccan is you're not ever guaranteed that it's going to work out for you, because if you
Right.
don't get the curve, you're screwed. You're sitting there with a 4. Now he was what, a 4/6 now, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah.
He
So you're
deserved he
just,
deserved the nerf.
yeah,
That was deserved.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I thought this was pretty good, but I still think, well, you know what? It's funny. I keep telling people on Twitter, I'm like, do me the favor, keep playing Hello. Keep playing it. Make it up there. Keep it up there in high rank, because you know what they're going to do? They're going to just kill the card. They're going to take her and they're going to be like, nope, we're not having this anymore. And they're going to just completely change the card. So I'm like, yep, just keep going, because
Yeah.
it's going to be gone. And then
Keep her at a 20% play rate. That's fine.
Yep. 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 The Doombot thing, I was a little confused with. I was like, because I wasn't seeing much of it. I was not as definitely
Not
as
as
much
much, no.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
The Cap Shield thing was really only for Cull Obsidian.
I played a lot of Zoo and Sanctum Showdown.
I did
played
too.
Zoo with Sam. It
Yep.
was really good. It was really
Yep.
good. It was a
Me too.
pure fun deck to
Mhm.
play, and I got Killmongered a lot, but it was fine.
Yeah, I was getting, no, I don't know. I think I had Kyera in mind.
I risked it for the biscuit and didn't put
Did
Kyera
you?
so I could put more big cards.
Yep. Zoo is a fun and just goofy deck to play. I don't mind playing it sometimes.
It's got some fun new stuff like Mockingbird and Gilgamesh and Marvel Boy.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
you have a
yeah.
big hitter at the end of the game with Gilgamesh that can just win a lane.
Oh yeah.
And yeah. Zoo is fun, Nick, unless you get Killmongered and then you're sad.
Yeah,
But,
normally
you know,
I do run Kyera in my Zoo deck, but I think I made room for like Iron Patriot or something like that because I wanted to draw cards that I could discount. I love drawing random cards. Agent Coulson, playing Nick Fury with Isan is been like awesome in High Voltage.
Isan's a funny card too. Like I remember I was playing him. I had an Arshem, I think, but I had both. I think I had Isan and Agamotto in that deck that I was playing out. So, but that's I think I played him once, but he pulled a card that completely screwed my lane. I'm trying to think of what it was. He might have pulled like a Carnage or something, and it ate everything in the lane, something along those lines. I forget what it was.
Yeah, putting Nick Fury and Isan, I was like, at some point we're gonna have to worry about a destroyer, but we'll get to that. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yep. Obviously Wolverine getting higher. Well, while we're on that topic, I want to talk to you about this too. Well, there's your picture. I'll talk to you about yourself. Where do I have it? I think I do. Let me just check real quick. Oh, here. I hate hot locations. Hate them. I never liked them. I think they're ridiculous. And the fact that listen, I get it. I understand it with the new ones that they want to spotlight. Totally get that. When they put out new ones, but like something like this, I'm like, dear God. Right after Firehair came out,
this
all
was
you saw was Destroy and Nimrod and Null. I'm like, oh God.
Yeah, I think they wanted people to try to test out Firehair, like just yeet all of your cards into the altar and see what Firehair does, which has been a lot of fun. But yeah, it brought out all of the
my God.
the Shuri Nimrods.
Yep.
Can you Shuri Nimrod on Altar of Death? Does Shuri work?
Yes, I did. Yeah, actually I did it. Yep, it does. So
okay.
you can play her out there, and then the next time you put the Nimrod out and it hits the Nimrod with the Shuri thing. Yep.
Oh yeah. Null, Arnim Zola stuff, shenanigans. Yeah. I don't think I played any ladder when the Altar of Death was around. I'm a completionist too. I broke that cycle last season when I did not get the Dazzler variant from Conquest. I didn't play any Conquest. And
is that the first time you missed it?
It's the first time I missed it.
Oh, okay.
I've completionist everything else, but it was my first breakaway, and I'm doing okay with it.
Okay.
I have a really good Dazzler variant that kind of made it okay in my mind.
I have a bunch of ones for her. I have the Art Germ one, which I like a lot,
Oh,
and
that's
I
a really
have,
good one.
yeah, he's outstanding. Like that art is like picturesque. Like I have his Mystique art too.
Ooh, Art Germ Loki is one of my favorites.
The female
The
Loki.
female
Oh,
Loki. Oh, yeah,
that's
she's
it's
gorgeous.
gorgeous. Yeah, like I have that with the sparkly green border around it and
Uh-huh.
everything.
I
Oh
think I
God,
gave her a blue sparkle border, and I put cosmic on her. The cosmic background, I think, is
yeah.
my new favorite out of the new backgrounds.
I love that one too. I think it just fits like the
It's
space
beautiful.
characters. It
Mhm.
fits really well with like I had I used the cosmic on the Galactus that I have. I have I use that on all the space guys.
Yeah,
I
I
think
like
that
that one a lot.
mhm,
I've even
yeah.
changed some of my gold ones that I've gotten gold. I've changed it to cosmic because 'cause I'm like, "I just love the cosmic." It's
Yeah,
my
I do
new
too.
so I think splitting for gold for me is gonna be over because it's never gonna happen anymore.
Yeah, like that's I mean, yeah, I was gonna ask you
Maybe
about
that's the
that.
thing I would fix is take get we don't need bananas.
No.
We
Where
don't
did
need bananas.
where did that even come from? Like banana what were they thinking with that? It's like so when I first saw the bananas, and I mean you could tell me if you thought the same thing. I kind of thought, okay, they must be doing this like a different thing for each character because that would have been hit monkeys,
I
right?
think it's
So,
banana split. But,
oh my God, like where does that go well with
I
anything
don't
but
know.
like,
It comes from the same mind that gives us half of our titles in game.
yeah, that must be, yeah, that yeah, that must be. I was disappointed with that when I got it. And I mean I only had and I knew I was gonna have Galactus maxed. That I knew because I have so many Galactus variants. I have them all of the variants that he has, and I have them split so many different times. But I had him, I had Iron Man, which I didn't even expect. And what was my other one? I can't even remember my third one now. But they were the only three I had. But I was pretty disappointed in the way that worked out. I thought that was going to be a lot better than it was, and I was expecting with the bananas thing that they were all going to. In fact, I thought, okay, Galactus. Remember when we saw the tracks when they initially showed like the reward
Mhm.
tracks in it, and I saw the chests and stuff there, and I thought, okay, the one made it seem like you were getting a special border for Galactus, that there was going to be some kind of special cosmic-y kind of border like for
Right.
him. And that's what I thought we were going to get. And I was disappointed with that. And now, like you were saying, it doesn't even make sense to split anymore.
No. I'm just trying to get at this point, I'm just trying to get all the cards that I've never split to
Yeah.
infinity border so I can put an orange cosmic on it or something.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
The orange cosmic isn't my least favorite. That's kind of been my go-to. I think it looks pretty good on most of the
Is that the one
characters.
that looks like the orange sparks, like the fire on the side a little bit?
No,
Like
no,
the
no.
orange
It's
okay.
just the orange and yellow spiral.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, yeah. The spiral ones. Yeah.
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 But
Yeah.
the orange and yellow one isn't as I don't know, it kinda makes the card pop a little bit. I like it.
They fit some of the cards. Like I was using the pink and black one on Gwenpool just because
Mhm.
the color scheme matches her.
Oh, yeah, I try to match my cards. I'm not
Mhm.
going for a full deck of black and white. I try to just match the card, make it look pretty, put a cool border on it if I can. That's about it.
Did you get the new one from High Voltage yet?
Yes, I already went on
I
Penny
love.
Parker.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
I put it on my Galactus. I had
That's a good
to.
one too.
I
It
was
was between Galacta or
yep,
Galactus or
yep.
Penny.
I had to put it on Galactus. It just looks so cool. I like
I
neon-y
couldn't
stuff like that anyway because I'm still stuck in the
I
80s.
couldn't waste it on Spider-Man 2099. I couldn't do that.
That's what I was
I'd never see
thinking.
it.
Like that would have worked well because of because it had the title right there, 2099. We could put it on Doom 2099, like
Oh,
any of
that's
the
true. I didn't think
2099
of that one.
stuff. But I was like, yeah, I used it on the Flaviano Galactus because he's so colorful
Oh,
with
yeah,
all the
that's a good
purples and
one.
oranges on there, so it
That's the
just fit
Galactus
really
I
well.
prefer to use.
Yeah, that's a cool one. Yeah, his artwork is really neat. But yeah, I was a little bit disappointed in that. I thought it would be better. Hopefully, I don't know if they'll ever do anything with it anymore, if it's just going to stay what it is. But
It is what it is.
yeah,
I'm not gonna like waste my time being upset about it. I'm just gonna keep playing the
yeah,
game.
yeah. I mean, there's nothing
Whatever
to do.
happens, happens.
Yep, agreed, agreed. All right. Well, one last thing I'll ask you, and then we'll let you go because I'm sure you want to enjoy the rest of your evening
It's
here, not
almost
always
dinner
talk about
time.
Snap,
Yeah.
even though yeah. So,
I love talking
um,
about Snap. No, I can't talk about Snap with a lot of people from IRL. My boyfriend, that's about it.
okay.
And then a
Well,
couple
hey,
people at work have dabbled, but they don't
yeah,
know what I'm talking
not playing.
about. They're
I
not in it, like we're in it.
I tried to get some people to play at work too, and they the best they played it for like a week, and then that was it. They're like, yeah, I don't play anymore. I'm like, yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah, I'm trying to recruit people every now and then too, just to play like the friendly games that you could play against
Mhm.
people and stuff. Because I never get a chance to do that. Have you played in any tournaments or anything like that? Like any of the tournaments that
I
happen?
used to do the Snap Judgment League,
Yeah, me too.
but
Yeah.
I stopped doing it, and it wasn't anything to do with them. I thought it was a great system they
Hmm.
had. I just didn't have time, and there would be a lot of weeks where I would forget about it, and then
Right.
last minute I would be panicking because I haven't responded to this guy who's messaged me 20 times,
Yeah.
and that was just it was stressful. And the only other thing I did was I did this one of the Conquerors tournaments, the Summer Showdown.
Oh,
I
nice.
think I
Okay.
placed 2nd to the bottom. Uh, it was when Gilgamesh came out, so we had to build 4 Gilgamesh decks, and I think,
Okay.
Hela was a Scourge, and people built Hela decks with
Oh
Gilgamesh.
God.
And
Was
I'm
that
not
the
gonna name names, but I was like, "Man, we should have banned Hela," because it was when Hela was the first time Hela was a real menace in the metagame.
yeah.
I think is when around that time when Gilgamesh came out.
Was that the one that Cozy cast?
Yes, it was
Okay.
I think
Okay.
Cozy and Alex.
Yeah. Yep. Then I was probably watching some of your games and stuff like that because I do remember them saying that you played in that. Yeah. Well, that must have been fun.
I built this really fun pixie deck,
Nice.
and I lost because I was playing against TLSG and he had Rogue, and I was dead from the get,
Oh.
you know?
Yeah. Yep.
It was
Yep.
A Pixie Dazzler deck with, like, uh, Gilgamesh and Patriot, all
Yep.
ongoing stuff that was
Yep.
just so vulnerable, so
Yep.
innocent. I got stomped
And he rogued
first
you.
round.
Oh man.
But it was TLSG, so I can't be mad. He's, like, the nicest person.
Oh my God. Yeah. I've never met him and I've watched him on the thing and yeah, oh my God, he does. He seems like the nicest guy ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
You're just
seems super
watching him
nice.
play it. Yeah. Yeah. That's cool though that you got to experience that. Did you go to I've talked to a bunch of people that went to SnapCon. Did you go to
I've
SnapCon?
never been to SnapCon. It's so if I still lived in Louisiana, it might be a little because it's in Florida, right? If
Yeah, it's in
I'm
Florida.
all the way in Arizona, and I just
Oh
can't
yeah,
we
you're
can't
all the way
really
across
afford
the
to travel.
country.
And if
Yeah.
I'm gonna be traveling across the country, I should probably go visit my family in Louisiana.
Ah,
So maybe
yes.
maybe one day I would like to go before, Snap is gone to SnapCon.
I want to go too. I was really thinking about going last year. I had Felicity on my show and I was talking to her about it and I was getting excited about going. I really wanted to go, but I mean I'm in Northeast Pennsylvania, so it's a ways
That's
for me too.
you're way up there.
Yeah, yeah, we'd have to fly. Now I did hear rumors. I was talking to Super Tech God, that, and he was saying that they were thinking of maybe moving it a little bit around, where they might do New York, they might do out west. They might like move it to different places. But
Well,
I'd love to go.
New York is far and
New York would be,
expensive, so
yeah,
that would
yeah,
probably be a no-go for me.
yeah.
But
That's probably even farther for you than Florida would be. I would imagine. Yeah, you're going across country
oh,
basically.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not like, I don't have anything against it. I would love to go. It's just I'm also not, like, a full-time content creator, so everything has gotta be on my retail budget, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. Oh no, I hear you. Yeah, that's it's not. Yeah, flight tickets are not cheap, and then staying
No.
over in a hotel. The only good thing is I have friends that live near Tampa who I could probably crash with, which would be good because then I wouldn't have to pay for the hotel and all that kind of stuff. Then at least so. But yeah, that's it. It does take a lot, and even if you want to stay somewhere else, you got to find a way to drive back to the convention center and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, but they seem like they had a blast. Like
Oh,
everyone that
yeah.
was there. It seemed like it was a great time. So it seems like a really cool thing to
Oh,
do.
yeah, I watched a lot of it on Twitch. I
Yep.
did watch a lot of it.
Yep. Yep. But I really think that it's funny that the game itself that Snap never wanted to get into any of that. Like you would think that they'd want to be part of
Yeah.
or at least do something with that. But what are you gonna do?
Maybe they have some other aspirations. I don't know. I'm
Could
very
be.
excited to see where they go with Snap or what else they decide to do,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Yep. I should be getting my book in. I think I showed that to you.
You
That
did,
book
the
came out.
art?
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's all kinds of variants in there that they have not even shown us in data mines yet.
Ooh, and did you
So
find that on marvelsnap.com?
it was on. No, who did I think I was in Discord and I saw someone bought it. It might have been Lauren Whatevs, I think,
Okay.
bought a copy of it. And I think I saw her get it. I'm like, ooh, I need to get that. So yes, I think I'm getting mine on Tuesday. It's coming I got it from
Cool.
Barnes and Noble. So yeah, I'm excited to see which one. I asked her, I said, they better have a Galactus page in there.
Oh,
And
I'm sure they will. They must.
she's like, they do. And I'm like, all right, cool. Then I'm good. I even ordered one of these goofy things. Here, let me see what I could.
Oh, that's cool.
I got one of they're only sold in China. They're like
Oh,
little
okay.
snap card plastic thing. Now this is just like a little standee, and you can see like on the bottom
Yeah.
it has world ship
World ship.
underneath,
Oh,
and
that's
then
cool.
it comes with a keychain. So you get like a little keychain of the card thing too. So it's kind of cool. I
Oh,
got
that
it
is
off of
cool.
eBay. I'm like, yeah. So they have cool stuff over there that we don't get. Even their Snap game gets cooler stuff. I think
I've
than ours
seen
does.
I think during the Conquerors tournament, they were wearing like Hawaiian shirts that had Marvel Snap stuff on it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, are they selling that? They should sell that. Sell
Yes.
some merch.
Yes, I agree. Yeah,
I
they
would
should be.
totally wear a Marvel Snap Hawaiian shirt.
I would.
100%.
Yep, I would too. Yep, I agree. Hey, yeah, they should bring that stuff here. Why not?
Yeah.
Give us some merch. That's something you should do when you go to like a Comic-Con or something like that, and take like a whole bunch of merch with you and sell it, and then sell it online. Like everybody would buy that.
Yeah.
So that'd be awesome. Well, all right. So, Doey, any other thoughts before I let you go here? So, obviously, we have high voltage to finish out the month. We have Khonshu coming up. Are you excited about any upcoming seasons? Like I know we have the What If season coming up next month with
Oh
with
yeah,
yeah, with all
Captain
those.
Carter and all
Mhm.
those I don't
Yeah,
know what
with Captain Carter.
I've looked them up. I've read what all of them do, but I don't remember a single word that I've read. So it's all going to be new to me next time I look it up. Oh, here we go.
There you go. You got Captain Carter
Okay.
now. You got they have an Uatu card back and a new
Oh, that's
Uatu, which is
really
yeah.
nice. I love
Yeah.
the Uatu card back.
I like it too. It's going to look pretty cool. I hope that's the one that they have for Infinite. I think that would look really cool.
That
Um,
Cosmic Galaxy one from the Silver Surfer season is one of my I just use the Game of the Year card back for everything, the gold one. But
okay, yeah,
the cosmic one from the Silver Surfer season is my second favorite.
nice,
So I think this
nice.
one's gonna become my new one, my new favorite.
I like the race car Iron Man too. That's from the What If series. That was when he was racing in the Grandmasters race tournament and stuff
Is
like
that
that on the planet.
is that the new season? I
That's
don't think we finished the new season yet. We forgot. That's something we can watch.
Oh, What If? Yeah, that's
Mhm.
from that's from season 3. Yeah,
Okay.
that's from season 3. There was an episode where they go back to they're back on Grandmaster's planet, and he has this big gigantic race, and they're all racing cars and stuff like that on the.
You know, I think we're on that episode right now, but we haven't
Okay.
finished watching it
Yep.
'cause
Yep.
we decided to start playing something or I don't know.
I'm excited for when they announce that. It should be they just data mined the X-Men one, which is for May. And then I can't wait to see what the Fantastic Four one's going to be, because it has to be a Fantastic Four theme series. That has to be, because they have, I mean, they could do a Herbie card, they could do a Mole Man card. There's so many Fantastic Four villains they could stick in that.
Sure.
But what I want a Galactus card back.
Yeah.
I need to have a Galactus
We're
card back.
overdue. We're
Yeah.
overdue for that.
Yep. I want to see it during the Fantastic Four month, but yeah, I mean, it's the game it keeps going, it's going on and on and on. It's fresh every month because you're going to start over. You're going to get all these cool cards. I know Captain Carter is a very beloved character. So I know a lot of people are going to be looking forward to playing with it, and then all the new card mechanics and stuff. Like I said, the front row, back row stuff, and everything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. So
yeah, looking forward to it.
Well, Doey, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
It was
Thanks
a
for
great
having me.
conversation. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And again, just tell everybody where they could check you out and when you stream. I'm going to have to pop over into one of your streams at some point sometime when I'm now you said you do morning, right?
I do morning. I stream. I typically stream for about 5 hours on Fridays, starting at around 8 a.m. Pacific time.
Nice.
Lately, since it's been nice weather, I've gone for about 7 hours. But when it gets to be in the summer months, probably will go back to about 5 hours.
Okay.
And then here and there, I will have some additional streams. If I open at work and I get off early, I'll come home and stream.
Nice.
Post
And
a YouTube video every Monday.
there you
Also,
go. There you go.
DOEY KAT.
Check it out. Make sure you check her out. Go. Hey, Twitch drops are right now, so no better time to do that than when there's Twitch drops, right?
They did just start yesterday.
There you go. So get your free Twitch drops. Check out DOEY KAT's channel. And yeah, again, thank you so much for being here. I really
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it. It was an awesome conversation. And yeah, go check out our channel. All right, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of Snap Decisions. Thank you all for checking it out wherever you may be. If you are on the YouTube page, please make sure you like and subscribe. Also, leave me some comments. I always will answer them whenever I can. If you're listening over on audio, I love all my audio peeps as well. Thank you for doing that. You can also follow the pod in most places, especially Apple and Spotify, and you could leave comments there as well. And again, like I said, please go check out DOEY and check out her streams as well. I'm sure you'll have a very good time watching her play Marvel Snap and also Marvel Rivals, which I'm definitely going to come and watch sometime before I go and try to play the game so I know what I'm doing. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us for this one. I will return on Tuesday with my weekly podcast. And then I don't know if there's anything going on next week. Next week's the last week of the month. There might be a patch now that I'm thinking about it. I don't remember.
know.
Yeah,
I'll find out when it happens or like the day before probably.
Yeah, I don't know offhand. I think I have that schedule somewhere. And I think I do remember seeing that there might be a patch next week, but I'm not 100% sure. But either way, I will be back Tuesday. We'll be talking about Khonshu and Comics Corner. We'll have the MCU minute at the end where we'll be recapping the Daredevil stuff and talking about that. So don't forget to come out and check that out. That is on audio formats on Tuesday every single week. All right, guys, that's going to do it. I will talk to you all on the next one. Please, again, go check out DOEY's channel. And yeah, this is your Snap DJ signing off.
If only I had spidey senses.